Ready when you are, CB. Do I start in Canada or Mexico?
We didn't do Animal
Are
Kingdom.
we really AK haters?
From New York, Dillos is Live, starring Frank and Jen Dillo. This is Mr. Snidillo in studio along with music by Matt Harvey, inviting you to join the Dillos and their guests while they tangent and wax nostalgic. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Frank and Jen.
Oh no, I froze Frank. That was my doing, I think. All right, hold on. I'm gonna let me. Oh, there you are.
Jen warning me that I'm on the wrong Wi-Fi seconds after we go live.
And then you came on frozen. I was like, oh no, I froze you. Hold on. I was trying to drop you out.
Things I have to remember while I'm working off my ancient computer that can't remember anything for 5 seconds. It's okay because I wanted to just kind of say hello here at the top as we are on the YouTube. Welcome. Good evening. She is Jen.
Oh, hi.
And I'm Frank. We're also doing the Facebook and the X again tonight.
Twitter.
The X Twitter was successful last week. Love the confirmation to know that we're on the X Twitter again. But long story short is we're just saying hello, and then we're gonna do a little restart.
We're gonna take a nap. Oh no, a restart, right? Yeah.
With the shorter intro, and then we will launch into the theme park Thursday podcast recording for tomorrow as a way to the NCAA tournament is over, so we're almost ready.
So it's time to start our March Madness. That's what that means.
That's right. It's time to start hashtag Dillos Madness on the official. Following this recording here, we will be over at DillosDizResort.com, which is our Patreon, with memberships beginning as low as $1 per month. DillosDizResort.com. We'll be having a pedals session.
That's right.
Which is based on September's meetup, where we ended. Well, at least Jen and I's portion pretty much ended at pedals.
Apparently, people stayed and enjoyed Disney more.
They just kept going without us, which is on brand. It's fine. And so now we will have the first official actual pedal session where paying members of DillosDizResort.com will talk about the seeding of our brackets and hashtag Dillos Madness. But you, if you're not, I'm pointing to you. All these people think I'm talking to them. I'm really talking to you. You can join for free at DillosDizResort.com to participate. Get your bracket by the end of this week for hashtag Dillos Madness. I will do a shorter version of that when we start the podcast on the official. But good evening to everyone on the Facebooks, on the YouTubes, and the Twitter X's.
Yes, X Twitter, Twitter X. You have to say it all as one long thing now.
Oh, look at that. Oh, I like Lewis and Jeffers are in both the X and the YouTube. This is really exciting. It's like a new, because, the X Twitter, again, as Jen likes to point out, that is where we realized, we're onto something many years ago. And so now to finally figure out, we could be, live streaming on the platform that has served us best over these years.
Yes. Yeah, it's very exciting. And this is where we found our people. Back in the day, this is where we found everybody. So it's appropriate. It took 5 or 6 years to make it happen. But I don't know how long one has been able to live stream on the X Twitter. I don't know. So maybe we're early to it. Maybe we're really late. Whatever. It's new to us and it's lovely. So
it's new to us. So we're going to launch into the recording of the podcast for tomorrow. It's another chat episode. Jen and I are trying to work on dates where we can invite guests in the future. Our March Madness, or I guess the prolonging of our March Madness. The scheduling has been a little tight recently, so we've been doing the chat episodes pretty frequently. This Theme Park Thursday podcast recording that we're doing tonight is a suggestion from our friend Adam over at DillosDizResort.com. I don't know where he is or if he'll show up here. He likes listening to the audio, and so I implied in our one channel Discord that Adam, it'll be in the audio tomorrow if you don't. If we're not going to wait. We're just going to start.
We're not waiting for you, Adam. It's all we do.
Just how it is. So, I mean, we got to take the breath because we know we'll be waiting anyway.
Yeah, and if I could just say about Adam, you know, sometimes I go back and I look at pictures from my past Disney trips because it just gets me by. And I was noticing that pretty much on every Disney trip, there's a picture of me somewhere at the Polynesian with a yelling face, like I'm yelling at Adam because I blame him for everything. So I'm either blaming him or waiting for him. It's one of the two things.
He still hasn't sent us one of the beams from the Great Ceremonial House.
Yeah.
To our PO
Adam,
box.
what do you have those in your backyard, Adam? Come on, don't hoard them.
We know where you live, Adam. We've seen the surrounding area. We know you have those.
I don't really know. I don't understand that state. I don't know what's north or what's south. I don't know.
He's in the Pine Barrens, isn't he? I feel like he's in a Sopranos episode. He's not going to hear this part when he listens to the audio tomorrow.
Oh man, totally we'll have to cut it out just for Adam. We'll send him his own little video. Adam, if you're here, show yourself.
Nice with the references. And to say, because we talked about it last week, I did not watch Wish, so we got to put that off. So.
Like, come on, everybody in our resort watch it. I'm like, oh, good, you'll all be ready for our episode next week.
The scheduling is not there for me. I'm happy to be getting. We got all 32 stories out. We got to start the podcast, so let's just get going.
Let's do that.
It's already 7 after the hour, but if you're here, thanks for joining us on all the areas. Feel free to chime in along the way, and we'll get the party started, so to speak. Here we go.
Ready when you are, CB. Do I start in Canada or Mexico?
It's me and Animal Kingdom.
You really hate us?
This is Theme Park Thursday with Dillos Diz. She is Jen.
Hello.
And I am Frank, and we are here recording on Theme Park Thursday Eve, and we are on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/DillosDiz. We are on the Facebook. Yeah. The Facebook. The page is it seems to be growing. We should be giving more love to Facebook, but it's been growing exponentially recently. So we're here to promote that, and we're over on the X Twitter, where we'd like to point out is our origin story and realizing that Dillos Diz was becoming something was over on the X Twitter.
Yes, welcome to everyone who's checking it out tonight. Hello.
Before we get going, tonight's podcast might be a little bit different and a little interesting, because the topic or subject was presented on our one-channel Discord at DillosDizResort.com by our friend Adam. The one thing I want to point out, because it was on my list last week and we did not get to it, and by list, I mean it was inside my brain and I forgot it. Jen, because I feel like the story carried it through. In Disneyland, they're talking about, they're going from smelling the fumes on the Autopia. Was it Autopia? No. Autopia.
Autopia.
And whenever I gotta, when I read it, I'm like, I know what it says. I'm still gonna say it wrong in my head, and if I say it out loud, I'll say it wrong. Yeah. And so people now are wondering the Speedway. I'm not going to say anything about the differences between California and Florida. But are you worried? Are you concerned that smelling the fumes of the Tomorrowland Speedway is not long for this world, your world, as it were?
Yeah. I'm a bit worried. I think So, the Disneys, all the parks will sometimes do things in just one park here or there, but sometimes they do things and it's like, oh, let's streamline that across all the parks.
Mhm.
And, something like being healthier for the environment and, stepping into the future a little bit in a land called future, whatever, tomorrow, it's fine.
It's fine.
So should I be a little worried? Sure. But I mean, a lot of things have hurt, and no spoilers, but I miss a lot of previous attractions and how they were. This one would sting a little bit. It is a full sensory experience. And if you want to just call that, the portion of Tomorrowland that's actually Yesterdayland, and this is what cars smelled like, why don't you do that? To teach the kids that this is what cars used to smell like before. I don't know. Some people drive electric cars and know it, and not Frank and I. We don't.
Never, and not like on a meetup where several of the people on the meetup point out that we're driving in an electric car, and we just kind of ignore that.
Allegedly, if people tell the Dillos they're driving an electric car, and the Dillos don't recall or hear or notice that happened, did it happen? I don't know. Anyway, I would so sad to not be able to smell the fumes. There are times I wish to be smelling the fumes in my day-to-day. It's something I, want to do in my day-to-day. So yeah, I'd be pretty sad if that went away. Yeah. And for those listening to the podcast, we talked about this a bit in our little pre-show chatter here, but we will be, going into our Dillos madness and having 32 of our stories. Lewis is mentioning that probably should have been one of our stories that we didn't realize we were driving an electric car. So.
I mean, yeah, if we do this podcast long enough to warrant like a full 64 stories, like we were very much, we didn't want to have a meetup story in the Dillos Madness stories because we feel like it just would have won. So we're trying not to do the automatic slam dunk story, as it were. But speaking of hashtag Dillos Madness, if you join for free on our Patreon at DillosDizResort.com, you don't have to pay the $1, the $5, the $10. You don't have to do that. You go to DillosDizResort.com, click join for free. Yep, the NCAA tournament is over, but we are just getting started on hashtag Dillos Madness. The value, moderate, and deluxe guests of DillosDizResort.com will be debating the seeding of the brackets, which Jen now completely 100% understands.
No.
So by Friday, this being Theme Park Thursday, we will have the brackets in play, I suspect, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, making promises over here.
Yeah. Well, we set goals here. That's what we do. We like to set goals.
And the other thing I want to address, because you called the Tomorrowland Speedway a sensory experience, like I want to get in on the DOS Pass discussion. I'm hoping that we will be live again Thursday night for Theme Park Thursday Live, which we haven't done in a few weeks, where we take 3 topics or subjects and go off. This is a big one. I haven't done enough of my research. I see more X tweets about don't believe everything you read, and so I'm like, I can't look at it. I don't have time to read the facts. So I want to do a little more examination, as it were, into that.
Yeah, and we might have to have only one topic because that's a big one. And is our friend Dr. Jacqueline still on vacay? I have to double check because she wrote a little blog laying it all out. And she would be a fantastic resource if we could maybe get her on here with us.
Theme Park Thursday Live as a special guest. Oh, we're making a lot of promises.
We're just goal setting. These are no promises. I can't guarantee anything.
Get out the board. What's the board called that you always talk about? The board.
The dream board, the manifestation.
What is it? It's called something else.
The vision board.
The vision board. That's the phrase.
First of all, you should know what the vision board is from the Candace Cameron Bure Hallmark movie, where she has the flight and she's trying to travel with the vision board, and she can't, and they're like, you have to check that. She's like, I have to carry my vision board, and it turns out nothing she thought she actually wanted does she want. She only wants to be with the guy who she sat next to in the airport.
What's the name of that one?
Detour, Christmas detour, holiday in the detour. I don't know. It's something with detour, I think, though. Holiday
detour. I'm not looking it up. I'm getting Adam's post a suggestion for this show, because we're actually doing a show,
Yes.
not talking about Hallmark movies, which Jen is now doing a Google search
It's
on.
a Christmas detour. I was right.
It's a Christmas detour.
That's a classic one. They got to drive from Buffalo with the snow, and they got the married couple in the car who are like unhappy, but then they realize they're You don't know this movie?
You name it every Hallmark movie. It's April. I don't know what's happening right now. So
Listen, it's almost July. Isn't that when you get back into them? Listen.
Update, because we said this on the podcast a couple of weeks ago,
yeah.
where Mrs. Dillo and the 8-year-old were conspiring to put up the Christmas tree for Christmas in July only, knowing like we're barely going to be around in Christmas. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But that has gone to compromise.
Oh,
not by me. I think as if I'm compromising this, but the compromise between the two people who wanted to put up the Christmas tree in the living room, and it will now be a smaller tree in the 8-year-old's room.
Oh,
That will then can double up at the holidays as well, which I think is
ceramic with the light up bulbs. Or
Jen, do you know? I didn't say this to you, right? So, and most people, hopefully, we know what we're talking about when we talk about the ceramic tree with the light bulbs that you put in the tree, and you stick the light bulb in the middle of the tree, and it lights up all the Christmas lights that you stuck into the ceramic thing. We know what we're talking about, right? Here, everyone, please chime in.
Yes.
Do you know that I saw this when we were taking down the Christmas decor at the top of the garage in November, and I tried to and Papa Dillo was like, "No, don't bring that down." I was like, "What trauma did this tree cause you?"
Is it that they have a lot of villages now that they're putting up in the home?
Yes.
And maybe they don't know where to put that. I think we got to get that for next year, though. That's got to come down. We'll find a space for it. Yeah.
No, because it's definitely now you can't access it at all if we tried. But so I forgot to say that to you. That's pretty hilarious. All right, I gotta put on my glasses to read.
Okay.
But Adam, over the weekend, Adam, who I suckered into watching WrestleMania.
Oh, wow.
By the way, Jen.
Yeah.
Did you you watch some of the WrestleMania?
I did, just a clip, but yes.
Just a clip with Jason Kelsey. But Adam, who I don't know if he wanted to see The Rock, The Rock, the voice of Maui.
Sure.
He is the star of the Jungle Cruise now on Disney Plus.
I would like to see if anyone doesn't know who The Rock is at this point in time, like in the world. Are there people that don't know who The Rock is? I don't know.
So he wrestled for the first time in, they say 8 years. It was a 6-second match 8 years ago.
Oh.
It's been a while. So it was a big deal. He's been playing a massive bad guy. So they've been breaking all records over there in WWE. But Adam was hooked, and he was like, "Oh, I watched it and I was into it." And that was Saturday night. And I was like, "Oh, Adam, you have to now watch the conclusion of it on Sunday to see what happened. You just can't leave it at Saturday. You have to see what happens." And I mean, it was star-studded on Sunday. Yeah, you had The Rock, you had John Cena, who he's on every car radio. His voiceover is everywhere now on the car commercials. He's in the DC universe. He's naked on the Oscars. Like it's everything.
Yeah.
So it was star-studded. You can say that. But I don't know where I was going with any of this. Oh, but Adam was watching WrestleMania. So he said, "Hey, I have a topic or subject." And then by Monday morning, I was like, "Adam, we are waiting for you to give the topic or subject."
Right.
Much like everyone is waiting right now here.
Right. I mean, because I'm already wanting to go on more tangents about wrestling. So we might as well get to the topic. Do it.
So here's Adam, our friend Adam, waiting for Adam.
Yes.
I have a show suggestion idea inquiry. There's a lot of slash marks in there. Your memories of defunct attractions that aren't the obvious ones, like Great Movie Ride and Horizons. I'm interested in the Skyway, 20,000 Leagues, the Mickey Mouse Review, the Walt Disney Story. There's a couple things he's referencing that I don't think we'll get to today. Did you ever go to the bank on Main Street, which like triggered a thing for me? And I was like, did I go to? Well, we'll talk about Main Street here. The old Tropical Serenade. The Tomorrowland Terrace Noodle Station, which I was like, what? Did I? It's like I'm now creating revisionist history in my head. So Jen and I, mostly me, but Jen texted me a few things. I have 7 created.
7.
I think some of the ones that we were talking about will end up getting talked about within the 7. But that is the topic or subject here on Theme Park Thursday with Dillos. There's seven long ago experiences gone. We can probably try to share some stories. There's one in particular that I think is going to be mostly me, because I have very passionate repressed memories that I want the answers to. So I'm going to put them out in the universe here. And that is the plan here today. Jen, I'm going to pass it to you while I get my thoughts together.
Oh, all right. I'm eager to know which one you have like this history with, and it's bringing up a lot of feelings in you. So that's interesting. I already have something I've written down. I'm not sure what your banners are. We like to do this a lot, where Frank creates banners, and I'm not sure exactly what those banners will say, and then I just go with it. Quite honestly, you could be improving Frank everywhere, improving whatever, and you're the improviser's guide. But my improv skills have really increased and become something over the last 6 years, I just like to say. But yeah, so I have something written down already, obviously on my post-its like I do, in case, I don't know if we'll get to it or we won't, but we'll see if I can fit it in of something else that I'm like, oh man, that.
Okay.
Nice.
I know that there's one you sent me that I don't have as an official banner, but I know I can crowbar it into one of these topics or subjects as well.
Well, this is new. This is not one I sent you, so that I have just written down.
The Magic Kingdom Skyway, whether we're saying the Skyway to Fantasyland or the Skyway to Tomorrowland. Jen, do you have a preference of whether you prefer the Skyway to Tomorrowland or the Skyway to Fantasyland? You were very young. I mean, it closed when you were what, 16, probably 15 or 16, because I was living in Florida when it closed.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember how old I was when it closed, but I don't think I have a preference exactly. I have, kind of blurry memories of it. We do have some footage on a VHS, so that has helped a bit. I feel like more than anything, it's still weird to me when I walk by the tangled bathrooms, and I'm like, where's the station? Where is it? That to me is like a bigger sticking point almost than the actual Skyway. Perhaps I've blocked it out because I'm such a fan of the Skyliner. That would make sense.
Well, this is why I wanted to bring this one up first, right? Because we obviously have, as the length of this podcast has been, the introduction and implementation of the Skyliner has been part of the scenario here. Do you hear that right now? That noise in the background?
I hear, yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
it's me getting ready to share the screen.
Oh,
that Jen is very, I think more so of the two of us, anti the sky, just stronger feelings about the Skyliner in general, as a whole, as a weather situation, as a timing. When is it safe? Where's the ventilation? All that. Yeah, there's more Jen than me. I am more of the, why does this thing disturb how the boardwalk looks? That's like my biggest complaint. I'm doing a lot of hands. I'm being honest, everyone.
Yeah.
That the Skyliner to Epcot is my beef with it. Art of Animation and Pop to the studios, fine. I wish it went from Coronado over to Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
I probably would have been just fine with that.
Yes.
It is this little pathway to Epcot past the boardwalk that makes me want to negate the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to go on too much of a Skyliner rant because I can. What is that? I can, but I do want to address Lewis's comment here. He's saying, I am mad at every one of you that could have ridden the Skyway and could have taken copious pictures and didn't. Listen, the years that was happening, we didn't have fancy cameras to be taken. We got a little bit of video. We probably have some pictures somewhere in an album, but it wasn't crazy. We weren't into the content back then, Lewis, so we didn't know. We weren't thinking that way. Frank is about to share his screen here. Is this our video?
This is ours, yes.
Uh-huh.
So, did you ride the Skyway to Fantasyland at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom? We did. January 1988. We did.
Yeah.
So, we'll talk over this. I lowered the volume to not disrupt the podcast again. But I think in general, I think Papa Dillo was a fan of cable cars.
Yeah.
So I think this was. I don't think it was about ever walking, not wanting to walk across the park back and forth. It was about let's go into cable cars. You want to go into cable cars?
Yeah.
And so all of this, at the time was cool, and the views again. What is this 1988 video that looks like it's 1962?
Well, and it's also very glitchy. So it's
is it?
like
it's glitchy on the share screen. Am I glitchy or you're?
No, it's just the video is.
Just the video is glitchy.
So it kind of looks like just a bunch of pictures. So that
if that
there are the
helps
pictures, Lewis. There they
you
are.
Mm-hmm. But in the overall. There's a little bit of 20,000 Leagues right there. Jen, do you remember going on 20,000 Leagues?
Vaguely. I kind of do have memories of it. I feel like I would not go on that ride now. I think it would freak me out. I do have it. I did I ever put that footage up? Mr. Snidillo on one of his home movies had some footage of the ride, and I can't remember if I put that up or not.
I think you put that up now that you say that. And we'll try to figure out everything we're showing here, and we'll try to drop links of things we're talking about. Look at my mouth wide open from my braces being too big. Totally fine.
Braces being too big.
It's fine. Oh, it's the Goodyear Grand Prix Raceway back then, not even the Tomorrowland Speedway. That was
so it doesn't need to be called Tomorrowland, and you keep the fumes. Keep them.
Who's this lady on the? It's an ad, right?
Oh, Jeffers is saying I won't do the math, but isn't 1988 closer to 1962 than it is to 2024?
You shut your mouth, Jeffers. But yeah, it was a classic for us in the sense of I think a Papa Dillo nostalgia button. I don't know which amusement park. Or even if the 1964 World's Fair had cable cars at the time, it might have. I'll have to look that up. But I feel like that was a go-to. I don't think he was pleased when it closed either.
No, he was not.
No.
Do you think cable cars counts as a malaprop?
I mean, I would have to do some research of whether they were actually called cable cars or if I call them cable cars because of Papa Dillo. That's a great question that we would then add to the hashtag Dillo's Madness stories later on. But yeah, I wanted to drop in 20,000 Leagues in there too, since Adam referenced it in his initial question. The way we look at wonders of life now, or the way we look at things that have just sat dormant for years. There've been different attractions and places over the years that were like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
The 90s with 20,000 Leagues. I mean, and into the 2000s, forever.
Yeah,
it seemed to go on. That was like, what is happening here?
Yes.
So,
sure.
This is not new. When we get mad about something, it is not new.
Yeah.
It is. It is tale as old as time. For goodness sake.
For sure.
So I say that in part to point that out about things that Disney just leaves, and to say, go ahead.
Oh, and that's why I'm saying that the station where the Tangled bathrooms was there for so long, sitting there. So that's why, to me, that's like almost a bigger memory because it just sat for so long over there.
Seeing the Grand Prix Raceway and talking about the fumes earlier prompts my other thing that maybe will be a Theme Park Thursday live topic or not, because everyone's talking about the permits are coming for what's beyond Big Thunder Mountain. Yeah. And people are a little leaning more towards that it's going to be a Cars Land situation happening there. But also at the same time, you got people saying you're not going to see electric cars on the Speedway because it's just going to close. I mean, I don't think you can put anything cars related there. I don't think, and put something different in or beyond Big Thunder Mountain. But Cars Land, be like, keep it in Disneyland. Keep Disneyland special with the Cars Land. There's a load of reasons, budgetarily speaking, that it would make sense, but also because it's a natural progression from Big Thunder Mountain into a Cars Land back there. I don't know what the right answer is.
I know. Well, I don't know. We'll wait and see what they're gonna do, and then we can rant about it. Because I don't know my feelings.
All right, this second one is going to be mostly me. I will try to be succinct.
Oh, is this the one? Is this the one that you have a lot of feelings?
Yes.
Okay.
Tangaroa Terrace. But people are like, wait, that's in Disneyland. No. It was in the Magic Kingdom. Not Magic Kingdom. It was in the Polynesian Village Resort Hotel. Once upon a time, many years ago, we had cool names for a lot of different places. We had the Coral Isle Cafe that we know as Kona now. We had News from Civilization, which is completely inappropriate for a newsstand now, I think. I think you can't say that. I don't know.
Right.
And we had over, not in the Great Ceremonial House, but to the east, I suppose, the long houses there, now lay some dormant buildings that occasionally have events. We used to, for a while, I know it as Moana Mickey's Fun Hut, or was it Moana Minnie's Fun Hut? I don't know which one. And now it was a Stitch thing for a little while, or Stitch was the kids club that was previously the Neverland Club.
Oh, yeah.
But then on the end was a restaurant, and the restaurant was the Tangaroa Terrace. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, because I was
going to say, it's hard to, that's not a Long Island thing to say. Yeah. You got too many R's. You got a word ended in an A. We can't do this as a Long Islander. Come on.
I feel like they used to say Tangaroo Terrace on there, but I feel like the Disney TV, I had to look up Papit before, because the Papit Bay Veranda is now Ohana, right? So I was like, how do you say the Papete? How do you say that? So I'm going to do Tangaroa, however I'm saying it, and pronunciation, and see if I can get an answer here live on the recording. Here we go.
Tangaroa.
What was I saying?
I think you were saying it, but I'm saying it's a hard Tangaroa Terrace. Too many R's for us. And an
Tangaroa.
Tangaroa Terrace.
So here's my thing, right? Because I remember this only from my first trip ever to Walt Disney World in 1981. And I remember eating in the restaurant. But here is what I remember. And I don't know if this is logistically possible or not. On the east side, right? The east side of the Polynesian was crabgrass for days towards the transportation and ticket center. Those long houses were not constructed until the mid 80s. So what I remember when you sat at that restaurant is like you had a good view of the Magic Kingdom. You had, it was dark, but clear as day in my brain, I remember from the restaurant, you could see the electrical water pageant. I don't think, unless they built up land that the lagoon, how I see it in my brain, I don't think is possible. But what I want to know from anyone who ever dined at the Polynesian in the 80s, early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, did you dine here and see the electrical water pageant from the restaurant? I'm guessing the answer is no, and I've been making this up for 40 years, but I also, in 1996, learned that I didn't dream up the Star Wars Holiday Special from 1978. So anything is possible at this point.
Yeah.
Jen, thoughts?
That's really interesting. I'm wondering, Mama Dillo could possibly be watching. I'm not sure. If you are Mama Dillo and you know anything or you have any memories of this, send me a message, comment on, I don't know where you're watching. If you're watching on YouTube, you can't. Just message me and tell me what you know, because maybe you have some insight into this as well.
And because I want to just wrap that up. I didn't want to be too long, but I will share the screen when I'm talking about crabgrass. I'm talking about that classic Florida crab.
Uh-oh. Sharing your screen has froze you, unless I'm frozen. Jeffers, to answer your question, Mama Dillo is not on the X. She is not. She's only on the FBs. So, yeah, Can everyone still hear me? And is Frank the only one frozen at this time? Please confirm. I think sharing the screen has gone awry for him at this time. And yeah, it has indeed. You know what? Let me remove him for now. Remove from stage so we don't. Now I'm here. Florida crab. Yeah. Okay, it is. Everyone is seeing that. Oh, Mama Dillo is messaging, but she just got on. Mama Dillo, hello. Frank was frozen. We were talking about the Tangaroa Terrace at the Polynesian, the old restaurant, and the views that you could see from there. Do you recall eating there? Do you recall the views of like Magic Kingdom and everything? And did you watch the electrical water pageant during that time? Send me a message. Let me know. Everyone says hello to you, of course. And people want you to get a Twitter, aka an X account. So we'll have to talk about that. It's probably not going to happen. But all right. So I don't have like, and I forget when Frank said this closed, but I do recall it being that space being used for various things since then and over the years. But yeah, and it's really interesting, like all the changes that have been made to the Polynesian over the years, and the additions that have been made, and some of the views that have been taken away. That's my only beef with those villas, little bungalows, is that it takes away from some of the views, because I was lucky enough to stay in one of those rooms where I had that view, and now I wouldn't have that view if I was there today, because I'm going to remove. Can you hear us, or can we hear you?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's just a black screen.
Yeah, I don't know what. I feel like all my electronic devices are just angry at me right now. So take me out and keep going.
All right. Removing you. All right, so removing him from the stage until I see his picture come up again backstage. But yeah, so I don't have those, but I know staying in one of those rooms and having that view was so cool, especially when you're on that first floor, and now you don't have that anymore. But yeah, Polynesian's always an interesting thing to watch, and how it has changed over the years. And I understand some of the 70s stuff had to go, but you know, we would still prefer it. So all right, let me oh, sorry about that noise there. All right, so I don't know if Frank has more to say on this, but let me go through the banners we have, because maybe I might go into some others. Wait, we might have something back from Mama Dillo. So she is saying, if it's where the game room was, yes, and we did watch the electrical water pageant from there. Papa Dillo told her. So this is big news. This is big breaking news. I don't even know if Frank can hear us right now telling him this news. So that's good. So if anyone else remembers that as well, let us know. All right, so let me remove this for now, and let me just check this. Okay, and Frank can hear, so he has just heard that news. So I'm going to bring up another banner in the meantime. Let's see which one I will pick. Okay, I'm going to pick the which one? I'm going to pick the ImageWorks, because this is something I miss a lot. Can we get them? Can we get Mom and Papa Dillo on the line? That might be an after show thing. We'll see what we can do. I think there's enough happening right now with Frank missing that I don't know if we could do it. But the ImageWorks, let us know. Comment if any of you remember the ImageWorks. But to me, this is something I always miss, especially when I am writing Journey into Imagination. That might be a Papadillo malaprop, just calling it Figment. But coming off of that ride and being able to just go into the ImageWorks and play with all the stuff. You know what? And if I should have prepared. I have the thing, the little prickly thing, and you could put your hand, you could see the hand formation, in the thing. But they had it just felt so Epcot. It just had the Epcot vibes. It had, the tunnel and you could play music and you could there's just so many things you could do. You could also stand in front of a green screen. I think there's video of me somewhere on our YouTube channel where I am standing in front of the green screen with some other kids and like being put into like we're falling or something, And that was very cool, especially in the late 80s, because like you don't have that now. I mean, Dillos does. We like hanging out in front of our green screen and seeing what we can do. But maybe that's why. Maybe it all stems from the ImageWorks. Maybe this is interesting. That's something to think about another time. But there's just so many things from back in the day in Epcot that have those Epcot vibes, like the Essential Fountains, and ImageWorks is one of those. Welcome back. Can we hear you?
So nice to be back.
Yes. I figured I would move on, but did you hear Mama Dillo and Papa Dillo kind of chiming in on the and your first so we'll hold on that question. It is sort of still there, and I think what you got like a DVC lounge up there, Lewis, is that true? But yeah, it's not as good. Are you officially back now?
I am officially back. I did hear that the confirmation of the electrical water pageant outside the Tangaroa Terrace, I feel redeemed.
Yeah.
After all these years, I guess I should have just asked Mama and Papa Dillo directly.
Well, people are asking if we can get them on the line. I said maybe in a post show, but the fact that we asked Mama Dillo and Papa Dillo confirmed it. Is interesting. And if you want to drop in, Mama Dillo, to the message, what other things you remember from the Polynesian back in that day, feel free.
Yeah, I'm no longer going to share the screen because I feel like that's what dropped me out.
Do anything else.
I'm not touching anything else during this live stream.
Yes. The ImageWorks was upstairs. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I heard you start to talk. Yeah, very quintessential Epcot. The thing I was going to bring up that you had mentioned to me, that do you know that April 10th was the official closing date of Stargate next to Communicore? Not only National Siblings Day, but also, as we're recording it, 30 years ago today.
It didn't close 30 years ago.
Stargate.
Closed 30 years ago?
Yes, because Interventions was coming.
What? That's crazy.
And I don't think it was 1993 because we were there in 1993 at Stargate. We have video of that. But but yes, crazy indeed. Mm-hmm.
That's nuts that has been gone for 30 years.
I mean, most of you loved it as the electric umbrella.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But I wanted to combine the two together because it was things that people took for granted.
Yeah.
What Stargate makes me think of when you connect it to Communicore is that it's like a lost art, that like to wait for your food and do games in Communicore. Like, I don't know if people did that with Interventions. I don't think you're waiting in the electric umbrella and running over to Interventions.
No.
The same way you would to go see Smart One the Robot and build a roller coaster in Communicore.
No, absolutely not. I miss Communicore.
So similarly, and I get it that, technology is greater than it ever was. So a pin screen in the ImageWorks, what are we even doing? But it's perfection.
It's perfection. That's I am like literally going, there's no way this could be 30 years in my head. I am seeing their video that we have, a VHS that we have, and we're online waiting for food. And I was like, oh, what is that then? The electric umbrella? And then I'm thinking, no, I think I'm 10 or 11 in that video, which would make it Stargate.
That's right.
Because 30 years ago, oh, God, okay.
That's where we are.
Mama, okay. Papadillo is mentioning something about the orchestra that might be back to the Polynesian. I'm not sure if you want to.
Oh,
I don't know.
I mean, he might be. Do we need to get Papa Dillo on the line?
Papa Dillo, do you can we call you guys and you can tell us?
I mean, what a
'Cause we'll
bonus
do
that
right
would be
now.
right now.
And Mama Dillo is also mentioning Stargate is only the best cheeseburgers. I would like to ask if do you think they are better than old school OG Beaches?
No, or Pinocchio's. I think
Pinocchio's.
I mean, Beaches is one.
Yeah,
I would say Pinocchio's versus. I mean, if we want to call it quick service, is Pinocchio's versus Stargate cheeseburgers.
Mhm.
Which one are you going with, Jen? Which one are you going with?
Pinocchio.
Pinocchio's.
I'm gonna call them.
Oh, Jen is calling them directly on the live stream.
I'm gonna mute. Talk for.
Well, she's muted. But we are here with constant interruptions in the live stream / podcast recording here tonight, talking about long lost Dillo's memories. Jen's getting clearance to bring them live on the air here. Lewis is mentioning that his favorite Disney burger was at the quick service place branded as Goofy's something or other. Who didn't love Goofy's something or other, honestly? So it was in downtown Disney. Oh, interesting. Let me think about that one.
All right.
Yes.
I got Mama Dillo on the line. I'm holding up my speakerphone to the microphone here. Mama Dillo, what were you saying?
I was saying that Papa Dillo said the orchestra was in imagination.
Oh, an imagination. Like you could pretend you were conducting
playing with the colors and the violins and
That's right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That was good. And so Stargate cheeseburgers, do you think they are better than Pinocchio's and Beaches?
No, it's just that it was the best food in Epcot at the time.
In Future World.
In Future World, yeah.
Quickly replaced by the baked potato in the land.
Better than the land.
Yeah, right. So would you say in that area, would you go to the lands now instead of what's the electric umbrella even there? I don't even know what's over there.
No, I wouldn't. I don't like the food in the land anymore.
Oh, wow. That's
Very
a hot
sad.
take. It's a hot take from Mama Dillo.
The potatoes are gone.
And if we go back to the Polynesian for a minute, you recall that restaurant like during the first trip?
Yes, we used to eat there quite a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Especially when Mr. Cardillo there was very young.
Is that you? That's you.
That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
No, I remember it. I always feel like it's a
very
dream.
young, but Frankie was very young.
Yeah. And what was my other? I had one more question. Oh, now I'm forgetting my question.
And I am confirming April 10th, 1994, 30 years ago today that we're recording this, Stargate closed.
Did you hear that?
Yes, we did. We couldn't believe it. And we couldn't believe that he, knew that. That he read that. Yeah. We were like, whoa.
30 years that it's been closed. That's nuts.
It's crazy. It is crazy.
Yeah.
30 years.
30 years.
Yes.
Do we
30 years.
do we have any other questions for Mama and Papa Dillo while we have them on the line? This may never happen again. We don't know.
I want to know what I would like to ask Papa Dillo what he remembers of early Polynesian. What else does he remember?
What does can you bring the phone closer to Papa Dillo? What does he remember specifically about early Polynesian days?
What they want to know what you remember about early Polynesian days.
Papa Dillo's thinking.
He is thinking. The only thing I can think of is just sitting outside our room and only seeing grass because there was nothing. Going to the
transportation center.
Where the transportation, I mean, we were right there before the
Yeah.
the transportation center, but it was just all grass. Huh? Yeah, we watched it being built, he said.
Yeah, watch the Floridian being built. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But when we were sitting there outside watching Frankie run around at 5 years old or 6 years old, we couldn't believe there was nothing there. It was just all green grass, and it was great. What'd you say?
The luau.
The luau. The luau. No, not that.
No, not that. No, it's a family show. The luau. Gonna take her off speakerphone.
Can you edit that out?
Yeah, well,
No.
we're live, so
It's not an episode of The
Whatever,
Sopranos.
All right.
the Skyway in the Magic Kingdom.
Oh, I mean, yes, the Skyway was very nice in the Magic Kingdom.
You guys called them, or did Dad call them specifically, cable cars, right? They weren't just
Cable car. It was the cable cars, and that's what was in the World's Fair. The cable cars.
there it is. So they were in the World's Fair. So that's what we were trying to figure out.
At us.
No, we're not laughing at
No.
you. No, and if you're watching the video, by the way, you're on a delay. So
I know
we're
we
okay.
are.
Okay.
I know. I got that.
Okay.
I'm not that old.
Turn your radio down in the background while you're on the
Yeah, I had to have them do that before I unmuted. Long time, first time. Yeah, the cable cars, we were wondering if it went back to the World's Fair, because we know that there was a big love for them back then. Yeah.
That was the World's Fair over. It's a small world, and
Yeah. Good
Yeah,
times.
I mean, that's why is he laughing? I don't know. Is he laughing at me?
Who's
from
like,
before?
no,
delay.
yes, from
You're on the
before. You're
delay.
still on the delay. I thought you were. We're not that old. We get it.
I wasn't paying attention, and now I turned hysterical.
No. All right. Any
Okay.
final questions for?
Have you presented my pitch to Papa Dillo? And,
No, I have not.
Uh,
All right. So listen, ask Papa Dillo if he wants to meet up with Frankie at the World's Fair, like one Sunday morning or something, because it's the coming up on the anniversary,
60th.
right?
The
The
60th
60th anniversary is
No,
coming up.
He would. That's right. In April. Okay. Frankie wants to meet you at the World's Fair, because I think around the 20-something, right?
What's do you know the date?
22nd.
Yeah, the
around
22nd, 23rd, right around there.
anniversary.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
60th.
Yeah, he'll meet you there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
The weekend
also,
after.
Jay will be there as well, and there'll probably be mics and cameras. So, all right, that sounds good. Great.
How many years, Frankie? 50?
60.
6? Well, I'm that old? That's right. I was 12. I was 12.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds good. All right, good. So they'll plan that. You guys will plan that then. That'll be good.
Okay.
Good content. All right. All right. I think that's it. What's our next
Hello,
topic?
everybody. Hello, everybody.
Hello to all my fans.
All my fans. All our fans.
Hi, fans.
You want to talk? Let's talk about
Just
the.
like Jen. All my fans.
All right, hold on.
Let's talk about this real quick, because I was going to save it to the end, and this might be the end, because we can do it to be continued on this one.
Yeah.
But I had a oh no, I don't want it that way. I want it that way. No, I don't want the ticker. No, ticker. I don't want that. I want it this way. I want it that way. Main Street USA as it was.
Main Street USA as it was.
When there was 2 center streets, when there was a magic shop, when there was a sports related store, when you just went into the cinema to watch the movies. I want to hear from Mama Dillo first.
Well, I think did you leave? Yeah, he
No.
left. I think
Where is he?
I would just like the horses back.
The horses back.
Sometimes they make an appearance every now and again.
Yeah, they come back here and there.
Yeah.
Do you recall the magic shop?
Yes.
Yeah, I wrote that one down because that's where I got my imaginary dog.
Oh, is that when you were screaming, crying on Dad's shoulders? No.
Is that when I lost feeling in my feet?
Is that what you got because you lost? Is that the end of that story? Is that you got it, the invisible dog leash? Because
Okay. So wait. There's an extension of this story. This story was part of Dillo's madness, everyone. So are you saying?
My God.
Hold on. So So my feet fell asleep while on Dad's shoulders, and then I fell down because I couldn't feel my legs. That's fine. And then
Did we all laugh at you?
yeah.
Did we all laugh at you?
Yeah, of course you did. Okay. And then are you saying from that I got the imaginary dog at the magic shop?
Yes.
Oh, that's
I remember
interesting.
having that when that happened.
Oh, very interesting.
It
was like
we
a-
needed something to
Here.
stop the crying.
Well, I'm sorry that I thought something horrible happened to me.
We needed something to shut you up. So we said, we'll get over a dog.
Hashtag 80s parenting. Yeah.
You think, you wonder why you have problems.
We're going off the rails. Listen, we're gonna do another meetup in September. Are you guys coming to that?
Oh, September?
Yeah.
Right, Dad would love to go to Disney because who was that guy that told you about the scooters, Frank? He left. Guy came into work yesterday and told him to get scooters for Disney.
Yeah.
He said they're $65 a day.
Yeah.
Just get it. He said my girlfriend got one too. He said, and we were going all over the place.
Yeah. All right.
Well, he said, why walk all over when you can scooter?
All right. So we'll look into that. And we'll look into seeing if we can get you there. All right. We'll look into that. I'm just saying. All right. All right. We're going to.
Yes, we'll come in September then.
Oh, listen, don't you say it if you don't mean it. People will be lined up waiting for you.
You're gonna be there at the never mind. But yeah, well, let's work it out. We'll try to arrange that.
The big thing in Dad Papa Dillo just said was that he misses the parrot in the lobby of the hotel.
Oh, the parrot in the Polynesian?
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because he just outside and he's listening to me from upstairs. So he's just
yelling down.
Yelling
parrot.
down what? Yeah.
All right. Good talk. Thanks for
I think it's easy, right?
Yeah.
You think this is easy?
We're gonna have you probably come on every once in a while for some especially during Dillo's madness, because we need some clarification on stories. So maybe we're having a pedal session after this over at dillosdizresort.com to seed our stories. We may call you for some clarifications on those stories.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But,
all right.
All right. Thanks for coming on and joining us.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, we're not going to top that, so we're just going to leave it as. I mean, Adam is going to be as Jeff first mentions. Adam is going to be so happy that his question led to an impromptu.
Yes.
Mama and sorta Papa Dillo appearance, including a confirmation that we would do a commentary, a walk around of the World's Fair, and a potential appearance at the meetup in September.
Whew, that's a lot. Didn't we start this show by talking about goals?
The vision board
out there. Yeah, vision boards. Yes.
So everyone watching and going to the meetup in September, get your vision boards out.
That's right.
And put Mama and Papa Dillo on that vision board. So to say, we'll wrap this up. This is obviously an ongoing, continuing topic that I think we can discuss.
Yeah.
And we dabbled a little bit in the ImageWorks. I wanted to use the ImageWorks as kind of a launching point for Stargate, which lent perfectly into talking to Mama Dillo here. Yeah. But for those of you watching the live stream, or if you're watching on X, take a moment and like the video or like the tweet that you're watching the video on, because I see the dozens of you who are actually here, which is, again, we're going to keep streaming on X as far as I'm concerned, for the immediate future. And again, inviting you all to head over to dillosdizresort.com. That is our Patreon, with memberships beginning as low as $1 per month. dillosdizresort.com. I can't wait for Jen to edit this episode at 11 o'clock tonight. It's going to be really exciting.
What editing?
There's a chunk there that I was gone for earlier.
I kept talking. It's fine.
Unedited. I mean, I guess if we sell it as unedited Mama Dillo appearance, we'll get a lot of downloads tomorrow.
That's true.
So, maybe you get it in its original form. Just cut out the beginning, and when the lead in, put the intro and the outro on it. We'll be good to go. But at DillosDisResort.com right now, we'll be having a pedals session with, we'll have to repost that link for everyone. So they'll be popping with their own boxes to discuss the brackets and the seating and the whole thing. And we'll have those hashtag Dillos Madness brackets available by the end of this week. Jen, what am I forgetting?
Join for free at DillosDisResort.com to get your bracket. So that's the only way this year to get your bracket. We're not doing what we have done in the past. So you got to join for free at the resort in order to get your bracket. So make sure you do that.
And again, it's not we're not doing like a pyramid scheme over there. No. It's a way we're trying to funnel where things are and try to create the best information to provide for everyone. I mean, I think that's really the bottom line. And if you end up liking what you're seeing, we're not gonna push. We're not gonna say buy in to this timeshare. Right. At DillosDisResort.com. I mean,
the museum maybe, but not the timeshare.
The museum. Maybe we'll do the museum. I was looking at this matchbook up here that we did on What's in the Attic, like season 1. Yeah. And I was like, oh man, we should just start just start a
curating
museum. Yeah, curating the museum and just have the pieces available on our website or something. Then eventually it would then move to a facility. It's kind of like the WWE Hall of Fame, where they keep having a Hall of Fame with inductions and everything every year, but there's no physical building. Like, I want to go to the WWE Hall of Fame. Come on.
Right. Things to work on.
I think manifesting all the things.
Do it.
So what time is it? We hit the time perfectly.
Look at that.
Everything.
We planned it all along.
We knew exactly what we were doing with this hour on the live stream. So thanks for checking us out here. Don't forget to like and subscribe and do all the things in all the places. Subscribe on the YouTube, and then the Twitter, the Instagram, the Facebooks, the what's the other thing I'm missing?
TikTok.
Did I say TikTok? TikTok. Did I have a TikTok question? No, I'll bring it over to the resort.
All right.
And then thanks for checking us out here. We're hoping to be back Thursday night with a little Theme Park Thursday live if the spirits align and the fates allow. I think it's the planets have to align. The spirits, the fates.
The eclipses.
The eclipses, all the things. Did you watch the eclipse? Did you have glasses?
Yeah, of course.
Did you have glasses? All right. We don't need to talk about that right now either. We're trying to end this episode. Until next time, she's Jen and I'm Frank. Bye-bye.
Deuces.